Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ramos Podcast. My name is Tochukwu of Ramos, and today we have real estate reality. We have Ramos Obaiko. This is Kayode, Omobaiko. Kayode of Ramos. Thank you for joining us on the podcast, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I know we had to drag you out from 4-5 inspections today. Yeah. Kayode is killing it in real estate, man. So anywhere you see him, build him. I've already built him today. Right. So, like I said, thank you so much for coming. Now, today's topic is going to answer a question that so many people have asked, and that is real estate investing. You know, to different opportunities, to different ways that people can make money from real estate. Yeah. And, you know, who better to talk about it than someone who is really in the thick of the game, right? So we're going to go straight into it. Okay. If you're watching this on YouTube, please click subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when next we post a podcast. All right, so we're just going to go straight into it, yeah? Okay. What are the possible ways that people can, you know, invest in real estate? Because, you know, not everybody has that 500 million or 100 million to buy a house.
True.
You know,
True.
People have different budgets. You can invest. I heard you can invest in real estate for like 1 million, 2 million, 5 million.
Yeah, so that's something you call like a REIT, real estate investment trust, but it's not it's not very common in Nigeria at the moment. You have just about 3 companies doing that, and it's not a very popular.
So a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah,
so don't you think that if people don't know about it, that's a good thing to get into?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's technical, right? It's like buying stock or buying shares in a company. So it's like pulling you, me, and 1,000 other people to own one property. Yeah. So you could divide that property into that 1,000 places, right? I could buy 10, you could buy 20. One person somewhere could buy the remaining 870. Right. So yeah, but it's very technical, and I think we don't have that structure that would really support, you know, that kind of investment scheme. Let's call it a scheme in Nigeria at the moment. But that's one way you can invest with, you know, let's call it peanuts.
So let's talk about the ways that are possible here and
right
now. Yes. For someone that is listening or watching this podcast that has ready money to invest in real estate, how do they get in? So we have something called buying to rent.
Yeah, it's very common.
How does that work?
Very, very common. It's straightforward. You just put your property on the market, rent out, collect your annual income. Yeah.
So how so it's not something that is like easy. It's not easy, but quick money. It's not something that you get returns on.
Yeah. So it takes a while, right? But I mean, it's long-term investment, right? And it's always an asset for you in case you're a business person, you want to take a loan from the bank. You have that as part of your assets, which you can put up for collateral, right? So it's a very good mode of investment too, right? And typically your rental value is like 5% of the cost of the house, right? So if the value of the property is 80 million, you're getting 4 million as rent,
which is not bad. And then if you have a situation where maybe the rental or the real estate value of that particular area goes up,
you could always,
or there's inflation.
There's always inflation, yeah. So you could always increase the rent accordingly. You could adjust it accordingly.
So that's a good investment for people who have that, you know, bulk money.
As opposed to, you know, keeping in the bank, collecting
petty
dust, let's call it dust. Yeah. So it's a very good one. Very good one.
All right. So the next one is buying to resell.
Yeah, the key to that one now is getting in early, right?
How do you mean?
Okay. So you could have, let's say there's this man or woman building 5 units, right, of a particular property, and you happen to just drive by one day. Let's say she wants to sell for 80 million. Right?
Approach her a fully built,
yes. Unit, so when she's done with the project, she wants to sell for 80 million. Right? You approach her with 70 million. And as a business person, she knows that 70 million is a good offer for her and to push her development to push it through. So she's going to give you for 70 million. You've just gotten a deal below market value for that property, for properties in that area. Right? So you wait for her to finish selling her 80 million naira properties, and you have one property selling for, you could put at 85, 90 because possibly the value of properties in that area would have gone up. You understand? So that's the key to it. Get in early, get in fast. So it's the key to every business is buy low, sell high. Yeah. So that's buying to resell. Or people also buy the 80 million and put up for 90, maybe 6 months later. But that's not the best way to just try to get in when they're not done. Maybe when they need off takers. We call them off takers in real estate, right?
What does that mean?
Yeah, you're an off taker. You pretty much kickstart the sales of
so you're the one that helps the thing take off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
off take.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, self-explanatory really. So yeah, that's buying to resell.
Buying to resell.
Yeah.
All right. Right. I remember because there was one time that during when we were developing Lux One.
Yeah.
Right. I think there was somebody wanted to buy in early.
Yeah. We had a couple of people. There was one guy that sent a message to the page. He talked about paying 80 million.
Oh wow! And what was the projected value of the house?
120 million.
Oh, so the person wanted to get in at 80.
80 million.
Imagine if he had gotten that deal.
Yeah, he was never going to get it. But yeah.
So, but then it's something that happens. Maybe a developer needs money. You give him that quick money to invest in other.
Something else. Maybe to buy one urgent land somewhere. Right. Yeah. So they always look for people like that.
Right. And then this brings me to house flipping.
House flipping.
That does happen here. I know house flipping works abroad.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of shows. This guy does it now. Scott Disick.
True. Yeah, he does. Yeah. He does. I can't remember his company name, but he does.
Let the Lord be with you.
Yeah, house flipping is interesting, right? It is creation in a nutshell. It's just creation. It's like watching transformation. So it's very exciting to watch. You see this very old shabby house turn to something magnificent that you never have pictured or imagined. So that's creativity at its best. Right, so that's why it's interesting. It's also a good mode of making money. Yeah, very, very good. It's also there's also the fundamental principles are there. Just buy low, sell high. Right. So house flipping now, you want to look for a property with a good structure, right? That is probably still that is just old. It's just old. Maybe they want to travel abroad or they are looking to move to their village or whatever, and they want to sell cheap.
Right.
Getting it cheap is very, very important. Right. So you've projected that it will cost you about 15 million to touch this property up. Let's use a case study, right? For instance, let's say Agungi 4-bedroom semi-detached houses are selling for 80 million, and you see someone offering you this funny-looking house for 55 million or 60 million. You've projected to cost you 10 million to fix it up.
If you buy at say 60.
60, exactly. Okay. So it's going to cost you 10 million to fix it up, get it to the standard of those other ones selling for 80 million or even more. And you fix it, you get the property, fix it up, you sell for 80, 85. You've made your cool 10, 15 million profit. Wow. Yeah. Right. So it's also a good mode of investing in real estate.
Awesome.
Just not common in Nigeria for some reason.
And then we have short lets, right? And I have a question. To get into short lets, do you have to own a property, or do people actually rent properties and then turn them into short lets? And how do you even make money from short lets?
Make money. You can make money. Just you rent your property out, right? Short lets now. You just now people are trying to have arrangement with landlords. Call them landlords, apartment owners. I'm going to rent your property, but I want to sublet it.
Okay.
Right. This is what I want to use it for. Right. This is where the money is at. So they could either agree or kick you out. And 90% of the time, they kick you out. They don't want that to happen. They feel like, it's going to put their property at risk. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's better to own
the property.
Own your property. You buy it, you fix it up, you furnish it, you transform that property. You get a very good agent or you list it on Airbnb as the owner and try to get your property booked for majority of the year. And
so short lets and buying to rent. Where do you think is more lucrative?
Short lets.
Really?
Yeah. So with buying to rent, you have a fixed amount, 5% or whatever. Yeah, a fixed amount. Okay, I like case studies a lot. So rough estimate: you buy an apartment for 40 million, a 2-bedroom in Orchid or Agungi, and the rental value of that is what? 2 million, right. 2.5. You fix it up as an Airbnb, very nice looking place. You put it out for 30,000. It's going to be more than, but let's just say 30,000.
Nice.
Yes. So what is the rental value again? 2 million, 2.5. Let's assume you have no running costs, no anything. You manage to rent it out for 100 days a year out of 365 or 66, 366 days, and that is already how much? 3 million.
Wow.
400, and you
You
most
probably
likely
get more.
you most likely are getting more. You're going to have it booked for maybe 200 days,
Oh, wow.
maybe 250 days. So you can already imagine the projection.
Because every weekend they are doing party in Lagos.
Exactly.
Every weekend.
Someone
Every weekend they are doing lemon 1, lemon 2 somewhere.
someone's kid wants to leave home. Yeah, so it's very, very lucrative. It is somehow a very common investment right now. People are looking to. Nobody wants to just buy to rent.
All right.
Nobody with other need for cash wants to just buy to rent. They want shortlets. They want to run shortlets. Comes with its own risk too, because you could have people just come and damage your property and move or steal. Yeah, but it's good.
All right. So basically, we've covered buying to rent. We've covered buying to resell. We've covered house flipping and shortlets. And these are all capital intensive.
True.
Very, very capital intensive. You're probably looking at spending tens of millions or hundreds of millions on that.
Sure.
But a lot of people don't have that, right? So the people who have like 5 million, 10 million, you can't buy a house for that amount, right?
Sure.
So how do people like that get into real estate investing as well?
Okay, so they have two options. One is, like we said at the start of this,
RITS.
REIT.
REIT.
Yeah, REITs. REITs. So those are not common yet.
So what's the second option?
Mortgages.
Mortgages, yeah. So mortgages is a very delicate topic, yes, but that we will get into properly, eventually. But there's something called developer investing, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if you know about that.
I know it.
So let's hear about developer investing. What is it about?
So either I don't know.
And is this something that people with say 5, 3, 10 million can get into?
It might have to be more than that, but yeah, people with not so heavy capital can get into that, right? You could. It's similar to off plan too, right? Very similar to they've not built yet, but they're telling you, okay, bring money, I want to build. You get this when we sell. You get a certain percentage when we sell. That's it in a nutshell, right? It's also not common, but people with 5 million, 3 million can approach these developers, and get their money's worth.
So, I mean, pigging back from the developer investing option, there's also an option where people come together, pool money together. Let's say there are 10 people. Everybody brings 5 million and they build one 4-bedroom, right? 4-bedroom detached. And then they sell it at, say, 60 million. Or 80 million, or how many other million? Then they split the profits. That's also how to get involved with minimal cash.
Yeah, true. So it's similar to the developer investing, right? Because just this time you're not giving the developer money; you're doing it amongst yourselves. So it can be called a cooperative.
A cooperative.
Yeah. So for instance, at Ramos, we could all decide that we want to set up a cooperative to just buy all the land in Ekpe. Right, so we're putting money there, getting land under the cooperative, right? So everyone is all documented, right? And it's also very common with companies, especially major companies. So it's something common.
Yeah, all right. Because I've heard of like estates named after a particular company or something.
Yeah. For instance, Chevron has Chevron Cooperative has lands almost everywhere, right? Almost everywhere. So it's common. It's common.
And then there's also the option of buying land and just leaving it. That is investment.
Land banking is investment.
Is that what it's called? Land banking. That's why we need experts on this show. Because I'll just call it what it is. But we'll give it the technical name.
Yeah, so land banking. It is.
That's like it's common. That's like the crypto of real estate.
Yeah, just hold.
Right.
Yeah, so land banking is also very common. That's why people that don't like stress in their lives, and they have money, plenty money, right? Not plenty money, just joking.
And you know that,
but they're not in urgent need of money.
Yes,
you understand. So it is. I bought land in Ekpe 20 years ago. Now I bought it for 10,000 naira. Now land in Ekpe is 2 million, 3 million. You get, right? So it's.
And real estate is something that you hardly ever hear of real estate losing value.
Yeah, barely. In fact, it's non-existent. The only way you can invest wrongly in real estate is if you deal with the wrong parties.
Yes. So that brings us to investing wisely.
Yes. You have to do your checks. You have to know that this person you're dealing with is legitimate. You have to be sure that your money is going to the right place, because you do not want to have a bad real estate story. No one ever does. So how do you say, oh, no, I'm not investing in real estate because,
Yep.
So you just have to do your checks.
Because we've had stories of like people that will tell you, come and buy land somewhere, and then at the end of the day, you don't know that this land it has not been approved. And then at the end of the day, you are fighting somebody. Give me my land.
When you went there, they just pointed and they showed you at the back. Oh, there's land at the back.
Oh yeah, bring money. They're telling you something. So you have to be sure
that's the idea. Look at that pole. That's the land.
You have to be sure that you're giving your money to the right person.
People, yeah.
Right.
Aside that, if you're going to buy anything, please always do your legal checks. Check with Alausa. They're never wrong, to be honest. Right.
Right.
So
the land registry.
Right.
Yeah.
Just check with them. It's very, very crucial.
All right. So I mean, let me go and start gathering my coins because basically the take home is, even if you want to buy to rent or buy to sell, or flip houses, or do a short let, or invest in developers or something, you need money
At the end of the day.
So basically, everybody just go and grind. Go and hustle. All right. So I mean, Kayode, man, this has been such an insightful episode. I'm sure that anybody who has watched on YouTube or listened on Spotify has picked and gotten one or two takeaways from this podcast. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me.
All right. So guys, this brings us to the end of the conversation. Don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, to please like, share, subscribe. If you think there's something that we have missed, leave us a comment. We also would want to learn and hear from you as well. And click the bell icon to be notified every time that we drop a new podcast, because we drop podcasts every week. And if you're listening on Spotify, please subscribe and, watch out for weekly podcasts.